Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam, he confirmed the divinity of this position of imamah during his time by so many miracles that he used to perform, especially displaying that knowledge of unseen that are given to the imams. It is narrated that a few of the companions of Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam were sitting and they were about to write a letter to Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam asking their questions. And Nasibi, someone who was not on the path of Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam, was also present. He said, if you really believe that Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam is the holder of such exalted position and he has been granted that divine knowledge by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then why are you using ink to write a letter to your imam? Just put your pencils or your pens without using the ink and write a letter. If he really has the knowledge of unseen, he should be able to know what you already wrote for him. So they accepted this challenge. Every one of them wrote a letter for Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam without the use of any ink. They just placed the pen on the paper, they moved it, and the pen did not leave any mark on any of these papers. The Nasibi himself also wrote a letter to Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam. They took the letters for the Imam. Very soon the answers to all the letters came back, and Imam alayhi salam had answered every single letter, naming the author of that letter with their name and the names of their fathers. This is who you are, and these are your ancestors, and these are your questions, and these are your answers. In another incident, Abu Hashim al-Ja'fari, one of close companions of Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam, wrote a letter to Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam while he was in prison. Because he was known to be one of the followers and companions of the Imam, Abu Hashim al-Ja'fari had to suffer a few years of imprisonment. In jail, one day he was able to write a letter to Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam and pass it on to the Imam, complaining from the difficulties of prison, complaining how narrow and how difficult these chains are. The cell is very close, I can't sit, it's very painful, it has been a long time, complaining about the situation. Imam alayhi salam replied to his letter, writing that today at noon you will pray your dhuhr salah in your home, don't worry. Upon receiving that letter in the morning, after a couple of hours, Abu Hashim al-Ja'fari was set free from the prison. While he was coming to his home, he was thinking to himself, even before he was writing the letter, he also meant to write something else to Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam, another complaint. And the complaint was about his financial situation. He had been in prison for a long time. He had no job, he had no income. Now he was going back home, a lot of debts on his shoulder. When he was going to write the letter for Imam alayhi salam to complain about the prison, he also wanted to complain about his financials, but he felt shy. He said, how much requests would I write? He didn't include his requests or his complaints about his financial situation. He gets home. When he gets home, the servant of Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam came to his home and handed over some pieces of gold to him, and a letter from Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam, in which Imam alayhi salam had written, Abu Hashim, anytime you need something, do not feel embarrassed to ask me. Do not feel shy. Do not think that you have asked too much. Anything you want and anything you need, ask, and inshallah I will provide it for you. Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam used to show this level of knowledge that is not accessible to anyone but an imam frequently during his time, to establish this point that after me there will be people who would come and claim that they are the next imam. Test them by asking them such questions. And because of these miracles of Imam Al-Askari alayhi salam, you see that after the martyrdom of Imam, although Ja'far al-Kadhab claimed that he is the next Imam, people did not trust him. Why? Because day one, when he claimed that I'm the next Imam, Shias went to visit him and they their taxes for him. He said, okay, give me, I will collect it from you. They said, no, tell us how much money is in each bag and who does it belong to. He said, I don't know, how should I know? They said the previous Imam used to say that. Whenever we would pay our taxes before opening the bags, Imam alayhi salam will tell us how much money is in this and who has sent this money. So you should be able to do the same. He said, no, this is knowledge of unseen. Only God has the knowledge of unseen. They said, well, if you were a true Imam, you would have access to this kind of knowledge as well. So Imam alayhi salam protected the Shia world through these miracles by establishing the divinity of this position. This is not something that anyone can just claim without being able to show those miracles, without having access to that treasury of God's knowledge.